1996, Jennifer Aniston breaks 2 decades of silence about her marriage to Brad Pitt. Not with anger or blame, but with something harder to give: honesty. This isn't the story tabloids sold you. No villains, no victims. Just two people who discovered that even Hollywood's most photographed love couldn't survive behind closed doors. What really happened when the cameras stopped flashing? Let's find out. Summer 1998. Two actors meet through their agents in West Hollywood. Jennifer Aniston rides high on Friends fame. Brad Pitt owns the screen after Seven and Fight Club. No cameras, no crowd. Just conversation that stretches 3 hours longer than expected. "I don't know where this will go," he tells her at the end, "but I want to find out." By 1999, they walk the Emmy Awards red carpet together. Flashes explode. Headlines declare them the couple of the year. Every photo makes front pages. That night, returning home, he says something she'll remember forever. "When I think of you, I feel at peace." She cries. Not from sadness, but relief. After years running from heartbreak, she believes she's found home. July 2000, Malibu Beach. Hundreds of white candles light the path to the ocean. Sting sings "Fields of Gold." Her wedding dress lifts in the wind like wings. When asked if he takes her for the rest of his life, he answers without pause, "I do." Hollywood calls it the wedding of the century. She calls it the opening note of a perfect love song. The world believes they're eternal. So does she. The early years glow. He appears on Friends in a cameo fans still discuss. They buy a Beverly Hills home with photo-covered walls. She learns to cook. He picks up photography. Morning walks through their garden become routine, filled with talk about their future, about children they both want. She writes in her journal, "If this isn't happiness, then what does happiness even look like?" But Hollywood keeps spinning. Her friends' schedule stretches into shared dinners become rare. Quick texts replace conversation. "I'm too tired," running late on set. In 2004, he signs on to Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The night before he leaves for filming, she asks, "Are you sure this is the role you want?" He smiles, not knowing that change of scenery will change everything. 6 weeks of filming stretches longer. Tighter schedule. More scenes requiring chemistry. More late dinners. The distance begins as geography. It becomes something else. Phone calls crackle with tension. "I miss you," she says. Long pause. "I miss you too," he replies. Then his assistant's voice cuts through, calling out tomorrow's schedule. His texts grow shorter, as if someone deleted all the loving words from his keyboard. Some nights, she sends messages that stay unread until morning. Logic says he's busy. Her heart hears glass cracking. October 2004. He comes home. The Beverly Hills house feels too big. She cooks his favorite meal, roast chicken and asparagus, plays his favorite music. He eats little, talks mostly about the film, camera angles, pacing, chemistry between characters. Every time he says chemistry, his eyes light up in a way that makes her feel dimmer. That night, under soft kitchen light, she asks directly, "Are you happy, Brad?" He looks up, surprised. "What do you mean?" "Because lately it feels like your happiness doesn't have space for me anymore." Silence. The clock cuts through air. "I'm just tired," he finally says. One word. Long enough to erase all the stories they once told each other. Arguments don't explode. They arrive like rain on a tin roof, drop by drop until it's a storm. She suggests visiting him on set. "Don't," he says. "We're packed all weekend." "I can just stop by. I won't get in the way." "Jen, don't make things more complicated." Complicated. A word he's never used with her before. Late one night, a text arrives. Running late. She waits. At 2 a.m., he walks through the door carrying the smell of smoke and unfamiliar perfume. "Should I be worried?" she asks. "About what?" "About the fact that you don't seem to be here anymore." His eyes land somewhere past her shoulder. I'm trying to find myself again. That answer doesn't include her. The version of himself he's searching for exists without her in it. By late 2004, paparazzi camp at their gates. Camera clicks hit the door like hail. She steps away from social media, closes the house doors, sits surrounded by wedding photos and red carpet shots. The frozen smiles stare back as if asking, "Where did we go?" She has no answer. January 2005. They announce separation. The press release reads, "We remain friends." She wants to add something about effort, but media prefers short sentences, clean phrases made for headlines. Beneath that statement sits what no one sees. Two people at a kitchen table with no recorders, no publicists, just 2 glasses of water and a sky collapsing between them. "I don't know how to get us back," she says. "Maybe we're not meant to get back. Maybe we're meant to let go." "Let go?" She repeats it silently, trying to adjust to the weight of those words. Letting go not because love died, but because holding on started to bleed. Arguments fade into long silences. They speak like screenwriters writing the same story from different movies. She talks about dinners, staying home, holding each other. He talks about projects, characters, moments with the team. Every time he mentions the team, his eyes light up. She speaks less, not because she has nothing to say, but because she fears her voice will break. One evening, the thing she feared most happens. No shouting, no slamming doors, no breaking plates, just a whisper. "I think we should be free." Free. The most beautiful word and the sharpest blade in Hollywood. She nods. Not in agreement, but in acceptance that they've reached a point where no signs point back. After the announcement, the world picks sides. Half pities her, half cheers the new on-screen couple. Every time she walks down the street, she hears her name shouted, and another name whispered beside it, like sunlight behind shadow. She smiles for cameras, then goes home and sits in the dark. Therapy helps. The doctor asks what told her everything had fallen apart. "The fading of little things," she answers. The text that said, "Home yet?" The hand on your back in a crowd. The glance that searched for yours in a full room. What are you most afraid of? That one day I'll forget how to say the word happiness without his name in the sentence. She learns to name pain without turning it into blame. Tells the story of a woman removing the jewelry of a marriage, ring, earrings, hairpin. Each item falls onto the table like a memory. Each sound echoes like a bell saying, "Time's up." The first morning after he leaves, the house feels hollow. She hears the clock tick through every wall. Coffee smell lingers, but no one pours her that half cup anymore. She moves through weeks like a shadow. Filming, events, interviews. Everything continues, but nothing carries weight. She puts on clothes, smiles, answers questions, performs, then comes home and peels each mask off. Hollywood sees her as a symbol of independence. People say she's making a comeback. Gets interested in what happens behind the camera. Media writes, "Jennifer is no longer the victim. She is the storyteller. She would never have known what it means to love someone so deeply you lose yourself. And she would never have learned how to find herself again afterward."